Hi everyone. I had the opportunity to go ice fishing on Saturday, and I'm really looking forward to sharing a few pictures with you. Before I get into the pictures, I want to talk about the practical logistics of addressing my physical needs. So the person that invited me was actually a 17-year-old I've met at the gym when I'm going there to do my exercises in the pool and just the few conditioning center machines. It's a friendship that's built over several months, and I was really looking forward to going. What he has is an ice hut. It's mounted on a wooden jig, so that means that the ice hut and the auger, as well as the spud tool to check the ice depth, is all situated on a wooden jig that's just slightly thinner than a station wagon of a car. And to get me out onto the ice, since I can't walk there myself, one of the ice hut seats just went up, and this 17-year-old actually pulled me onto the ice, the same that you would do pulling a toboggan with young children up a hill. There were two areas where I used my crutches to cross over that the ice hut wasn't going to get over smoothly, but I only had to take a handful of steps. And if you were someone that couldn't walk at all, you would just choose a different area to fish in, and truthfully it would not be an issue. The more practical answer would be using a snow toboggan to pull you out to the ice along with an ice hut in tow. The only thing I need to caution you is that there's a certain depth required of the ice thickness, so you don't go through and hurt yourself or drown. But overall, I had a wonderful time, and I've been looking forward to sharing these pictures with you today. This is a look at nature before we went onto the ice. One of the things that's helped me a whole lot in my life has been going to nature. I completely get into it and forget about the effects of my disability and the chronic pain I experience. I just find it so relaxing, and as soon as we arrived, the same thing happened to me again this time. This is another look at sort of the picnic area of the staging area for those who go ice fishing at this location. Just out of view is a porta potty, Johnny on the spot, or whatever word you would use in your country for bladder or bowel movements. Again, the sheer beauty of it really caught my attention, and I completely got away from focused on what's wrong with my body. This is a look at when I first went onto the ice. And I have to tell you, the sheer openness of being on the bay, it just was amazing. I'm used to living in a house where the rooms may be, 12 feet wide at the biggest. And going down the street, I'm used to seeing houses on either side of me. It's completely different on the ice. It's so open. It didn't scare me, but it was something I haven't experienced for several years. This is a second look at where we were heading for setting up our ice hut for the fishing. This is a look back at the dock. I love seeing paintings of cottages in nature. I enjoy also watching different shows that were about the periods years ago where it wasn't all this electronics, but it was back to nature and working hard to farm. Looking back was just amazing as well. And when I had this to see, it just really put me at ease, and I was completely away from the set of challenges that I have to deal with each day. This is a look back at the staging area where we came off of. And once again, it's nature. It's something that I really, really enjoy. And it's so relaxing. It's something I wish that you could also enjoy. Perhaps you don't want to be out there in the ice and the cold, but certainly it's very relaxing. This is a look back when we were far off the shore by about 100 meters or roughly 300 feet. It's just a completely different perspective. I've never been ice fishing before, or for all that matter, I've never been in a boat before. And I was just awestruck over the openness of it, the beauty of it, and also really looking forward in anticipation to doing the ice fishing. At this point, we were in the middle of the bay. So the 17-year-old that I went with subscribes to a GPS service that shows the depth of the water. So he had picked out where he wanted to go as long as the ice was thick enough that would be likely to produce results and allow us to catch some fish. So where he wanted to go was just a little bit further than here. This is once we had the ice hut set up. It's the same idea as a canvas tent, and then it had a bench with 2 seats, and there was a bucket, not a bucket, more like a container, like a U shape that was quite wide, where fishing rods, tackle, bait, as well as snacks and drinks could be stored while we were out there on the ice. And then the jig had a spot for a gas auger, and this is what was used to make the ice fishing holes. Where we were at, the ice was between 7 inches and 9 inches deep, and this is way beyond the minimum requirements for for just bringing yourself out. I don't know what the established standard is for a snowmobile, but for our purposes, this was way beyond safe, and I never had any concerns over falling through because it was just so deep. It was like being on land, if I'm honest with you. The 17-year-old is really into fishing, and this is a look at his propane ice fishing hut heater. Now, the only thing that took a little bit getting used to was that the snow started melting because of being loose. The ice stayed solid, but I did ask him why there was water on our hut because I wanted to know. And that propane heater worked fantastic. The only thing that I would have done differently had I known was put on a second pair of jogging pants and wore rubber boots. But certainly I was warm enough, and I was able to undo my winter coat once the ice hut heated up. This is a look at the first fish that I caught, and it's actually my first fish that I've ever caught in my life. I've gone fishing before, but it hasn't materialized to anything. And it was amazing pulling it up. This is a look at the second fish I caught. And you can see in the background that I had my crutches with me. So when I needed to pee, I used the crutches to take a few steps and get myself out of the ice hut. But again, that was really all the walking that I needed to do. And if you're someone that cannot walk, there's the option of a urinal or a catheter or condom catheter if you're a man that might help you. The other option would be to go fishing but only be out for say 90 minutes, and then you go back in because of the needs or the challenges with bladder or bowel movements. But certainly I think that if you were committed to it and you had someone who is able-bodied and willing to help you if you express your needs, certainly you shouldn't be restricted from not being able to do this if it's something that you want to. This is a look at the only fish we kept. So the 17-year-old is amazing at ice fishing. He caught a total of 12 fish while we were out. 11 of them weren't the minimum size requirement that you're allowed to keep. Also, he made it clear that if we caught a really big fish, it was going back in the hole because the big fish are needed to breed and spawn for there to be more fish and to replenish what people take out of the river each year. At the end of the day, this is what we had to look forward to. The sun setting was absolutely amazing. It's also something that I sometimes do if I've had a really bad few days with my joints or my pain's been really bad. I go out to watch either the sun rising or the sun setting, and again, it helps me relax and it helps me deal with the ongoing set of challenges that I have with my physical disability and chronic pain. That's all the photos that I took. I again want to thank you for spending this time with me. As I said, I've really been looking forward to doing this. If you have any more specific questions on accommodating a physical disability, I'd be glad to try to answer them. Leave them in the comments. If I can't get you an answer, I'll try to do what I can, or maybe another person might respond to you as well to help this make it be a reality for you so you can enjoy what life has to offer. Thanks so much for this time that you spent with me today. Bye for now.